John twisted the lock with one hand. At that moment, no one noticed him. He opened the cabinet, took out the gem, and placed it into a bowl. He covered it and left the casino easily. Meanwhile, everyone else was arrested. Uncle Mark and Chewing Gum drove off trying to escape. During the getaway, Uncle Mark was shot and a car accident occurred. Both of them were killed. Their underling, in an attempt to protect Coco, was arrested by the police. The short-haired girl turned out to be an undercover cop. The 9-person team was down to just 4. They decided to seek revenge on the gang. They learned through a phone message that the gang had booked a hotel in Busan. So, while the gang was out, they switched into their gear and started their operation. Meanwhile, the police had already surrounded the hotel. Coco, moving swiftly across rooftops, reached the gang's room. Hanging from the chandelier, she found the diamond necklace. Successfully switching it out, Coco crawled out of the vent. Just as the gang members returned, carrying a large suitcase, Wei Hong arrived to make the exchange. He had no idea the gem had been switched. Wei Hong inspected it and found it to be a fake and immediately shot at him. By this time, the police had surrounded the entire building. The gang members jumped out of the window, escaping to the building next door. Wei Hong was formidable, handling both special forces and chasing the gang. He used a mattress to jump from the upper floor, and his men were no pushovers. They soon cornered him. In a critical moment, he tied a rope to a railing, broke through the window, and jumped out of the building. But unfortunately, the rope was cut by gunfire, and he crashed onto the balcony. The enemy's fire was intense. The gang grabbed another rope, and with a push, reached the other side of the building. The railing on the window blocked him outside. At that moment, he was sandwiched between enemies with nowhere to hide. He focused on his breathing, waiting for the right moment. When he heard the sound of a magazine change, he rushed out, took out the enemies, and used the rope to descend. He rushed into the room and successfully escaped. The scene shifted. Coco jumped down from the vent, walked while undressing, and took a cold shower under a burst pipe. At that moment, sounds came from downstairs. Coco wrapped herself in a towel, pretending to be scared. She was escorted out by the police, still acting terrified. After the police left, Coco walked away boldly, leaving the scene with confidence. When we saw her again, she had reached the peak of her success. She was the final victor. That's all for today's story. I'm Woody, and your likes, comments, and shares are the greatest support for me. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.